Good evening. I see a lot of people, particularly YouTubers, weighing in on the Zaya Wade controversy. I believe that Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union have handled this situation admirably. I think what a lot of people, particularly people of color, find distressing is that they're not handling it the typical way that people of color, particularly black people, handle those situations. Because black people are quick to throw away their trans child. And then when the child is on the street, sit around and comment on how the child is making their way in this world. Ooh, look how terrible. Ooh, can you believe? Ooh, let's pray. The same people that would shed tears over throwing food away have no problem throwing children away. Many of you should be ashamed of yourselves. Because you can be supportive when it's not someone in your family. But many of you fail when it's your child, your cousin, your sibling, to rise to the occasion and work to be an understanding and better person. It doesn't mean that you have to have all the answers, but you certainly can look to find them, get therapy, find ways of being supportive, but you don't. And that's disheartening. And what's more disheartening is that members of the LGBTQ community that are YouTubers are some of the worst offenders. There's one whose name I'm not going to mention, but he garners. He's like a LGBTQ plus minstrel, because he kowtows and dances and does every sort of show like a Stephen Fletch for his straight community as he talks about trans people in particular. I can see how that looks. Don't come tell me. I can tell. I can see. I can this. I can that. They don't look this way. They don't look this. I don't know who made him judge, executioner, but he reflects the opinions and the behavior of many of the people. I've been transitioning since I was in my 20s. I wish I had started earlier. But I did things, as many of you say it should be done. I was good. I followed the rules. I waited till I was an adult. If Zaya has the financial backing and the means to do things that many of us wish we could do, I say bravo. go for it. Many of the people that I see on YouTube speak, but aren't even aware of laws, the most basic ones. So they just throw foolishness out into the streets where foolishness already resides. Zaya can't have gender affirmation surgery until Zaya turns 18. I don't care how much money you have. That's one. But there are other things that can be done along the way to 18 that would make the transition smoother. Why should Zaya have to go to college under a previous name? Why shouldn't Zaya begin her college years with her new identity and name in place? Because those are the records and the credentials that she will need for the rest of her life. Why shouldn't Zaya begin to establish a credit history under her new name and identity? It's not all about how someone looks. You're building a whole new life, a life that is representative to how you feel in here, that you want to see reflected on the outside. It's a long road for acceptance, self-acceptance. I turned 53 this year. Tomorrow, to be specifically. And it has taken me a lifetime to get comfortable in my skin. Because I was so afraid of what society thought, how society felt I looked, how society felt I talked, how society felt. And to have someone with a platform just to get clicks and likes and keys, make these comments that are detrimental, particularly to Black trans people, is disheartening. I find this individual vile. Because for people who have to worry about violence, particularly Black trans people, it's not a laughing matter. It's life or death. So it's not a kiki moment. It takes a lifetime for some of us to get comfortable in our skin. You see me come on here. You see the way I look. And again, I've been transitioning since I was in my 20s. I'll be 53. Does my outside reflect the vision I have inside? No. Still no. But the difference is, I'm okay with where I am. I accept where I am. I'm not going to hurt myself financially to accomplish dreams and not have compromising financial security. No, I'm not going to do that. I once did in my youth. I would rather have a procedure than eat. And that's true. I had a friend one time ask me, I was unemployed, living on unemployment, and took the last of what I had to have a procedure. My friend said, what's more important, your face or eating? And I looked at him incredulously, like, my face? Like that was even a question. So, while you have these clowns who sit around to get clicks and likes and become popular on their channel, espousing foolishness, half-truths, you have those of us who have to live this experience who don't find it funny or amusing at all. At 53, I don't care what your opinion is of me. I share my feelings, I share my experiences with you, but I don't care about your opinion as it pertains to my physical appearance. If I feel like putting on some makeup, I put it on. And to be honest with you, some days I just don't have the strength to do it. And I'm not particularly an artiste when it comes to making up a face or painting a face, as we used to say back in the day. But I try to do the best I can with the mug I have. It's refreshing to see how Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union support Zaya. And I hope that more parents begin to do that, support their children. Why cast a child out to the hands of predators when you know your child is going to have a much more difficult life? Wouldn't logic say, this child, I'm going to definitely make sure that they get an education, that they go out there as prepared as possible to confront the obstacles that life has before them, as I know they're going to face many more than others. I'm going to provide this child with a little bit more emotional support because I know they're going to need it. Because this life is not going to be easy for them. My whole life is not about being trans, but I can only see life through the lens of someone who is. I can only see life through someone who transitioned at a time when many of you who are probably watching the video or in the age group that probably watches most of the YouTube videos, whose parents were my tormentors, or the tormentors of people like me transitioning at a time when I transitioned. People were very vocally cruel They didn't mind their business. They were vicious. They offered comments where comments weren't required. They were loud and laughed and giggled loudly. They were in your face about how they felt about your appearance. And that wasn't limited to just straight. Oh, no. The people who could be some of the most vicious people were members of the LGBTQ plus community. The Caucasian LGBTQ plus community members had no respect for us, even though the freedoms that they were enjoying were off of our back, off of our blood and struggles. Many of you want Zaya to be the black version of Caitlyn Jenner, so you can laugh and kiki. Oh wait, you might change your mind. Oh wait, that's not really what it's about. What it's about is you want to put Zaya in a position where if she waits long, some of the things that can be done now to help her truly realize her goals and envisionment will become more difficult, because it becomes more difficult the older you are. So now, I say she should do whatever's in her heart that she feels comfortable with at the moment, and take every step that's available to her for each given age that she turns, that she's comfortable with. Because at the end of the day, she has to live in that body. When you all have long moved on to do whatever else you're going to do, she still has to live in that body and navigate this world. And all of you are not decent, caring, open-minded people behind closed doors. Thank you. Have a good day. Have a good evening.